You see, your skin, your mental well being, your immunity, everything begins with gut.
Gut is the second brain.
Absolutely, I agree that I have acidity on, maybe once in 3 days or once in 4 days, or I have bloating, I have constipation.
When you have your last meal, you should stay awake for at least 2-3 hours and then go to bed, as it helps the
It
digestion
helps
process.
in digestion to happen. Whatever you're eating, you're just, binging.
What are the most common things they have assumptions which are not right?
So the misconceptions that people generally have is gut is just affecting my digestion, which is not the case. Gut is affecting your sleep levels.
Doctor, coming to probiotics and prebiotics, could you elaborate on the importance of both of them?
Yeah, so this is a very good topic that I wanted to touch upon.
Then basically, doctor, we should avoid the other doctor. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Pod Spectrum. In today's episode, we have Dr. Pooja with us. Dr. Pooja is gonna share with us some valuable insights on gut health, which she has helped her patients to fix their gut issues as well. And today's episode, we are going to discuss on the basics on how we can live an healthy lifestyle with prioritizing our gut. Stay tuned till the end of the episode. Dr. Pooja, it's great having you on Pod Spectrum.
My pleasure.
Today, let's dive into the importance of gut health. Why should everyone prioritize in taking care of their gut health?
Okay, I'll begin with a quote. You see, good health begins with gut. This is a very old quote that, when I was studying, I came across. And that I was not much aware of it, but over the years that I've studied and I've practiced, I've realized the importance of gut health in your overall well-being. You see, your skin, your mental well-being, your immunity, everything begins with gut. So it's very, very, very important to take care of your gut health. So it should be on everyone's priority. And considering we all are always in a hurry, always stressed, so then it becomes even more important to take care of your gut health.
Doctor, as you mentioned of stress, so my next point is correlated to that basically. Could you elaborate on the gut-brain connection and how it impacts the mental and emotional well-being as well?
Okay, I'll talk about two hormones which are very common. First is serotonin. Serotonin is your sleep hormone, which is actually produced by gut and brain connection. Dopamine, which is a feel-good hormone. So just see the importance of gut health. Your overall well-being, if you're not sleeping well, if you're not getting that good boost of energy, how will you function? So the gut health becomes even more important in those cases. So yes, I'll tell you in medical terms, there's connection. There's a nerve called vagus nerve. Now, vagus nerve is something which helps in connection between your nervous system and your gut. There are various hormones which obviously come into play, like serotonin, dopamine, which actually help in, production of good hormones, and thus the connection is very important.
Hence, doctor, it is also referred that gut is the second brain.
Absolutely, I agree that your gut is the second brain that, you actually work with.
Sure. Moving on to the next segment, what are the common gut health issues people may face and how can they address or prevent them basically?
Okay, so you see, every second individual that I practice or I come across will have, they will say that, ma'am, I have acidity on, maybe once in 3 days or once in 4 days, or I have bloating, I have constipation, I have GERD. I mean, my food just keeps on coming up every time I eat. So these are very basic things which are affecting every second individual. Now, these are not something which are diseases, but these are disorders which are affecting every second individual or every third individual, considering we are always seated, always glued to our screen, and always stressed. So that's the reason why it's very important to take care of your gut health, because as I told you in the beginning of the podcast, that gut health is very, very important. The bad part of it, the points that I was talking about, the GERD, the acidity, the refluxes, all these things can be avoided if you start taking care of your health in a way that you build a very good and a healthy lifestyle. Now, talking about lifestyle, there are various factors to it.
Doctor, as well, it said that when you have your last meal, you should stay awake for at least 2-3 hours and then go to bed,
Yes.
as it helps the
It
digestion
helps in
process.
digestion to happen. What happens is we are so glued to our screen that our food is along with our screen. So either we are watching a Netflix series or we are watching on something that we've missed out on because the whole day we didn't get time to do that. So while watching, there's no brain, no food connection, there's no satiety level. We can go on binge eating. So that's very important because your gut is not activated at all. Whatever you're eating, you're just, binging.
Yes.
There's no connection that you've established, right? And that is the reason why you are required to keep a gap of 2 to 3 hours in between all your meals so that your food gets digested, because once you're full, your gut will send a signal to your brain that okay, now you're done, you should stop. But that just doesn't happen today, right? Because there's no connection that we're looking forward to. We're just looking forward to something on the screen which we just want to finish.
Absolutely. Doctor, coming back to the point that you stated, when we are eating, we glue to our phones or to the television.
Correct.
During that time, we eat too fast.
Correct.
And it's also stated that you should
Chew your food
chew your
very
food
nicely.
very nice.
At least 42 times is what is suggested. But we generally chew less 5 to 10 times and we just swallow our food. So the food is just gone and it's there in the larger intestine. It doesn't even reaches the small intestine where the actual digestion process starts. So it takes a longer time and our meal gaps are short. Like there's mindless eating that's happening in between, right? I've just had my breakfast. I might just hop on to a friend and grab a cup of coffee with them. My food's not got digested. I've not had enough hydration, but I'm having something which is dehydrating me. So yes, there's no gut and brain connection here. There's no food and logic connection here. It's just that I'm mindlessly eating.
Doctor, I'd like to share a small incident basically.
Yeah.
It's not incident also. Most often I come across this.
Yeah.
Usually I go to the gym. In a week I train 5 days.
Very good.
So whenever I meet my friends,
Yeah.
they are like, "Ki, chalo, we'll eat this."
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely.
like, I had my lunch this time. I'll take a pause and then it's like you're following a diet, you're being too cutter. But I feel ki these small things make a large difference.
You know what? Nowadays, eating junk food is so common that when you try to eat even normal healthy food, now people say you're dieting, which is not the case. You might just be eating your normal healthy ghar ka khana, but people might label you as, oh, he's dieting, he's following this, he's following that. It's not the case. I'm just actually trying to eat healthy, or I'm just trying to lead a normal lifestyle, which is not there. So,
You mentioned the misconceptions people have.
yeah.
So, what are the most common things they have assumptions which are not right?
So the misconceptions that people generally have is gut is just affecting my digestion, which is not the case. Gut is affecting your sleep levels. If I eat very late in the night and I just go to sleep, my food is not digested. The food just keeps going up to my brain and I have severe acidity, right? So gut affects everything. So it's not just only digestion. The misconception that people have is if I take care of my digestion or if I just pop a pill of acidity, or if I just have a sachet of or something, something which is a digestive solution will actually solve my problem. It's not the case. So that's the common misconception that people have, that gut is only related to digestion, but gut is related to your immunity, gut is related to your skin health, gut is related to your overall well-being and vitality. If you take care of your gut, you are going to lead a better life, overall a beautiful life, which is good in the terms of quality.
Doctor, since you have touched the skin aspect,
Yeah.
and as we know, everyone wants to look young in today's world. No one
Yeah.
wants to age. So,
Absolutely.
when it comes to skin, what are the things that gut health can enhance?
Gut health can enhance your glow. Gut health can ensure that you don't get your pimples. Gut health can ensure that you don't get skin problems like eczema or psoriasis, which is very common in today. Like, every second or third individual will have an eczema or psoriasis condition. So if you take care of gut health, you keep these problems at bay.
Absolutely, doctor. Doctor, coming to probiotics and prebiotics, could you elaborate on the importance of both of them?
Yeah, so this is a very good topic that I wanted to touch upon. Probiotics are something which are available at our home, Prebiotics too. A combination of these two, if included in your diet and if included in your daily lifestyle activities, will help you achieve your normal healthy gut that we are talking about. Now, probiotics are something which are, bacteria, basically, which are found in our foods. Now, which foods? Coming to yogurt, coming to kombucha, coming to kefirs, Coming to as simple as pickles that are homemade with less oil, they are also very good sources of probiotic. Prebiotics are something which is a fiber, basically, which will help in digestion of your food. So prebiotics are found in banana, prebiotics are found in whole grains, prebiotics are found in onions, garlics. So if I combine both of these, if I combine healthy eating with good quality fiber in my diet, I am taking care of both probiotics and prebiotics without actually including a supplement. So it's very important to include a diet which is good and takes care of all my important ingredients, probiotics and prebiotics both.
Doctor also said that you should balance out both of them,
Yeah.
prebiotics and probiotics.
Yeah.
If someone is taking too much of prebiotics or probiotics, it can impact. So
No, actually, probiotics are good bacteria which are already in your gut. When you eat them, you are enhancing them. So, actually, they are found in very less quantity in the food also that we are eating. So, for example, if I talk about yogurt, if you eat one bowl of yogurt, you get very low quantity of probiotic that is actually required for your digestion. So, there's never too much of probiotic that's there. Yeah, the too much of probiotics are something which an individual is consuming over the counter for something which is packed and sold by the name of probiotics. That should not be consumed without any health advisor telling you that you should go ahead and consume it. Be it your doctor, be it your dietitian, be it your nutritionist, anyone that you go to, please do not follow self medication. So that's my advice.
doctor, coming to supplements. Basically, even the young generation, they might not even need supplements, but even though they consume thinking
It is
that
good for
it
me.
is good. So
Yeah. So nowadays, since everything is available online at the tip of my finger, plus the information is also available at the tip of my finger, which is not correct. It should always be by a registered practitioner that you should go and you should follow. You should never self medicate, because any supplement that you're taking for a long duration of time will have side effects. So it should be taken after proper guidance, after proper blood test, after evaluating your health status. Only then you should be consuming any supplements.
then basically, doctor, we should avoid the other doctor, which is Google.
Yeah,
For most of the
absolutely.
people.
You should absolutely avoid the Google doctor, because it will give you answers that your mind is reading. I mean, if you say, I have fever, is fever related to cancer? It will tell me, yes, fever is related to cancer. So it should not go in that direction. So you should never Google your symptoms. You should never Google supplements. You should never self medicate. I mean, that's the suggestion that I have, that never self medicate, never go to Google for your answers,
Yes.
especially your medical health conditions.
Doctor, before touching the topic of practical tips for gut health, I wanted to ask one thing basically is that I've seen my friend circle, one of them, their cousin had taken a diet and they started following the diet and it gave them a negative reaction.
Exactly. Because every body is different and every individual will require a different set of nutrition to be followed, to be achieved. Also, it in terms of macros, I mean, macros might be, every individual might need protein as per their body weight, which is 1 gram per body weight, but micros will vary. So every individual will actually be different, and a diet which is made for you by a qualified nutritionist will have that as per your body. And if you follow something which is readily available on Google, or follow someone which is made for someone else, will definitely give you wrong results, because that is not meant for you.
Basically, every body type is.
Exactly. You will not fit into someone else's cloth, right? So
Absolutely.
it's the same thing.
Yes. If your shoe size is 10, weigh 10, not
Yes,
11.
exactly.
Doctor, as we come to the end, could you share some practical tips for our listeners? Can they incorporate into their daily lives to promote gut health?
Yeah. So my first and my most important tip is to include variety of food in your diet, which is eat the rainbow. Include all the colors, all the natural colors, seasonal color, fruits, vegetables in your diet, so that you are getting good quality vitamins, good quality probiotics in your diet. If I speak about prebiotics, let's dive into this topic. If I speak about prebiotic, which is, found in garlic. So if I have those green garlic, which is usually available in winters, it will actually give me good prebiotics. So that's one very important thing, that include good range of color in your diet. The second is exercise. ensure that you are physically active for 30 to 45 minutes a day. When you go for a walk or a jog or you exercise, whatever you do, you ensure that you stay physically active. Stop self medication, stop having antibiotics because they are easily available on the counter. So please stop having that, because one small pill, if taken for a longer duration of time, can play with your gut health. And something which is playing with your gut health is playing with your overall vitality. So that should not happen. The other tip is hydrate yourself. Ensure that you drink 3 to 4 liters of water. Get good sleep. You should get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. If you're not getting good sleep in the night, again, it's a gut and brain connection. You're not digesting food well, there's something wrong in your lifestyle. Please see a doctor, please see a practitioner that is relevant with your health condition. That's my thing.
Thank you, Dr. Pooja, for enlightening us with the importance of gut health. I'm sure that our listeners will benefit the most out of
Thank
this
you.
podcast.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for our today's episode, guys, with Dr. Pooja. I know that you guys have gained a lot of insights regarding prioritizing your gut. Stay tuned for further episodes of Pod Spectrum. By the way, how you all will stay tuned? You all will have to hit the subscribe button and stay with us throughout our journey. Thank you.